This is going to be a tricky video to make. First of all, I am being vulnerable and that is something I despise doing. Second, this video involves the very touchy subject of religion. And thirdly, I have a lot of opinions about the Catholic Church. This video is going to, without a doubt, offend somebody. However, as somebody who's currently hiding in the broom closet, this is really the only outlet I have for expressing myself in this manner. Anyone who has been following my channel for a while will know about my feelings on witchcraft as a whole. This is going to be a video summing up my religious beliefs in a neat little package. I'll be generalizing folk Catholicism as a whole and will be drawing from my experience with it. If I were to explain the nuance of every aspect of folk Catholicism, we would be here all day. I don't expect nor want to make people believers. The only thing I wish to do is educate you guys on my variation of witchcraft. And the only thing I ask of you is to be respectful of my beliefs. Now, to cover my bases, I would like to explain my religious background. I grew up in a Catholic household, so naturally I grew up a Catholic. I got my sacraments of initiation, I abstain from meat during Lent, and I keep track of when Ash Wednesday will arrive, the whole 9 yards. Catholicism is a denomination in Christianity. They are the ones singing in Latin, eating fish on Fridays, and beating people for being left-handed. My exposure to folk Catholicism was rather late. It was around 2022 where I really started getting into it. My first source of divination was through tarot cards, but I wasn't really quite there yet. Initially I stuck with Anubis as my deity, but it didn't quite feel right. That was when La Santa Muerte appeared herself to me. I don't remember exactly how it happened. All I know is that I fell into a rabbit hole of research surrounding her. I didn't have the words to describe it, but it just felt right. Folk Catholicism is described as a religious practice that blends the beliefs of the Catholic Church with local indigenous beliefs. Examples of these include the practice of Vodou and Santeria. Aside from those two, this aspect of religion can be found in Mexico, parts of Latin America and the Caribbean, the Philippines, and even Italy of all places. Each sect varies in terms of synchronicities with Catholicism. Some are based on it, while others may stray as far away from it. The principal aspect of folk Catholicism is breaking away from the institution and forming your own practice while having Catholic aspects. Those aspects may include belief in God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It may also include belief of saints, the usage of holy water, rosaries, and other religious artifacts. And it can also include practicing holidays like Lent and engaging in the Eucharist. However it's done, there is the core aspect of Catholicism present. Another aspect is the lack of hierarchy. Unlike the Catholic Church, which has a clear hierarchy consisting of clergymen, folk Catholicism lacks one. While there are priests and priestesses, there are no official rank system in place. For me, I have been flying solo as a witch. I am eclectic, which means I collect my witchcraft from a multitude of perspectives, whether that be books, YouTube, or the occasional article. I celebrate the normal holidays of the year, but I also follow the liturgical calendar. The liturgical calendar is a calendar that Catholics follow in order to keep track of the holy times of the year. These times include Advent, Christmas, Ordinary Time, Lent, the Trinitum, the 3 holiest days of the year, Easter, the Pentecost, and then back to Ordinary Time. Feast days comes from the word feast, but not a typical feast. A feast as in an annual religious celebration. Speaking of saints, my main method of witchcraft is through saint work. There seems to be a lot of confusion as to what exactly a saint is. A saint is someone who lived a particularly holy life and is said to have performed miracles after death. Now, let me make one thing clear. Catholics, and to a lesser extent folk Catholics, do not worship the saints. We revere them the same way we revere the Virgin. Speaking of which, we do not worship the Virgin either. There's a huge difference between reverence and worship. I think people get this misconception due to the fact that people mistake intercession of prayer with worship. Intercession of prayer is simply that. You ask the saint to take the prayer on your behalf and send it to God. There are a multitude of saints, and many of them are a patron saint of something. For example, Saint Francis of Assisi is the patron saint of animals, and his feast day is October 4th. People on this feast day will take their pets to be blessed by a priest. You can look up patron saint of X, and I'm sure it will exist. The saint I personally work with is La Santa Muerte. She is a personification of death and is known for her immorality and swift judgment. She has unfortunately been condemned by the Catholic Church as a heretical saint and has been labeled as a narco saint by the mainstream media. And in my personal experience, people have gone as far as to call her a demon. But she isn't. Just because she doesn't fit the mold of your saints doesn't make her a demon. Oh damn, I got a little personal there. The broom closet is something that I and many witches have to deal with for the time being. The broom closet is just that. It means you are hiding your beliefs from the world. Very much like hiding in the LGBTQ closet. There are a myriad of reasons as to why someone may be hiding in the broom closet. However, the primary one is to avoid persecution. However, many parts of the world and the church itself has dismissed many of these practices as being inherently demonic or heretical. What they fail to realize is that a lot of these practices are passed down from generations in secrecy to avoid persecution and or death. And unfortunately, I'm actively being banned from practicing my beliefs. Due to living somewhere where my landlord is one of those, I am unable to practice my beliefs in peace. She can Bible thump and call my higher power a demon, but the moment I dare criticize the Bible on one thing... Sorry, I almost lost myself there. But yes, I am currently trapped here because my landlord is a bitch who won't open her mind. If you want a comprehensive look on La Santa Muerte, I recommend Religion for Breakfast video on the topic. It was co-authored by Dr. Kate Kingsbury, a leading researcher on La Santa Muerte. Speaking of Religion for Breakfast, I recommend the videos on Vodou and Intro to Indigenous Religions. I also recommend the book Devoted to Death, Santa Muerte, The Skeleton Saint, 2nd edition by Dr. Andrew Chestnut. He, like Kingsbury, is also a researcher on La Santa Muerte. Check out their blog posts as well regarding Santa Muerte. I also recommend picking up a copy of the New Revised Standard Bible. The NRSV Bible is a more nuanced take on the Bible. There are commentaries and notes from biblical scholars, and the version I have has a neat little map. Another recommendation are the channels Mysterious Leroy and Ted Vodou. They are practitioners of folk Catholicism and Vodou respectively. Is that it? I think that's it. That about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.